Hey everybody, we meet again. Just a reminder to those who have never had the pleasure of seeing a B-36 in person before. If we're at centerline, the 230-foot wingspan, one tip would be on the other side of that mailbox. There's a 10-foot wide driveway, or 20-foot wide. On the other side of that would be one wingtip. And the same over here. That mailbox right there, dead center, that'd be the other one. And of course, the tail would probably stick up about level with that second story peak up there, 47 feet off the ground. It's been a frustrating day, a day I've not looked forward to doing, but I got her done. Temperature is, oh boy, 21 degrees. Humidity is 68%. I'll bear and show you what I've done today. I guess I can start down here. Starting to work on the junction areas of this Exoframe, which are, I guess this would be the Exo and this is the Endoframe, as I've called it in earlier videos. First thing I did today was I installed these triangulations on just these two panels. The reason being is these panels on the back are going to be covered with the retaining strips. So there'll be one here, one there, one there, one there, one there. However, as I said in other videos, this entire top piece will be one big sheet or retaining strip. So the sheet will come to the edge and then here and then there. Now, there's a transition up here because the early model B-36s, the A through F, every one of these is a separate, or I'm sorry, the external, or the skin, which clamps down with the strips. Every one of those is an individual piece of skin. Okay? Whereas on the late model, you've just got two big pieces of skin. And those pieces of skin are just screwed down. They don't have the strip on them. So there's a transition between that big piece and these guys, which are like the early models, I'm sorry. These are two individuals. So you're gonna have it flush, and then here is gonna be rounded, and then it's gonna have flanges so you can compress it. I hope that makes sense, but that's the way it is. And this strip will continue up to the Astrodome mount, which will press down on the two big pieces. So let me go downstairs and I'll show you some good looking views. There's one right there. By the end of this week, you won't see that up there, if all goes well. Oh, hit my head, as usual. So I got that step, and then that's the step, and I've been working on this whole day, so let's get up in here. Oh. Usually I have my garage door up, so I got room to work, because there's, you know, 10 inches torque up here. So I'm gonna do the best I can. I wish I would have realized this before I started shooting, but we're fine. I'm up here pulling these all in, and I'm starting to trim these to get these all locked in place. I know I'm gonna hit the back of my head when I pop myself back in there, but it's all right. I want you all to see this. Just give you a nice 360 degrees here and there. And these guys right here, this strip from this point to this point, I drilled those holes today. this one on the other side. This is the last of the holes that I have to drill. So those are done. One thing that I did today was I installed these two pieces of steel that widen this frame so these guys can rivet. The reason I did that is because that's what it looks like in the real one, in the real aircraft. There doesn't appear to be any other riveted surfaces, but that's it. And these are pretty much locked in here. I've got them riveted on the back. So they're part of it now. While I was up here, that was cut off there. I continued that. And these were missed. This was cut off here and I continued that. There she be. Tomorrow, I believe it is tomorrow. Either tomorrow is going to be to make those two back pieces, because once again, they're two separate pieces and they're different from the rest of the top up here. I'm probably going to get those done because this will overlap. And all this is done up here. I'll just need to go up here and make sure these are all centered. And then, you know, draw a line, leaving room for my speed nut, and just trim it down there. And I got to do that. That's cake. And this thing's going to be ready to put skin on the top of it. A bit of bad news. I actually started my day by calling the supplier that makes these speed nuts, these U-nuts, and they've been discontinued. So I spent the better part of my morning in the warmth of the house trying to find something, you know, that I could use for these. And the problem is I've already got all these holes drilled, and I think I need about 600 more of those things. If I had to do something bigger or smaller, I will. These ultimately are just an effort to try to be faithful to the original construction. If I have to just simply take a piece of spring steel and fold it in half and then put it in there for the sheet metal screw, I think that'll work just fine. The manufacturer of these speed nuts informed me that in order to fire up their production line, I'd have to order no less than 13,000 units. So that's not going to happen. That's why I'm up here. I'll show you around a little.